Welcome, fellow voyagers, to our thrilling journey into the heart of the human condition. We stand on the brink of untold mysteries, about to delve deep into the riddles of our existence. If you're a newcomer, join our fellowship by hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell to keep the mysteries coming your way. If you're an old voyager, flash that thumbs up as a beacon of your support as we navigate the labyrinth of our own lives. Now, let's leap into the abyss, exploring why we humans, creatures of comfort and marvels, remain eternally restless and dissatisfied. Ever found yourself caught in the whirlwind of ceaseless dissatisfaction and restlessness? Picture this. We're sailing through arguably the most democratic era in history, with unprecedented health, education and safety at our fingertips. Yet we seem to be forever on the run, seeking an elusive refuge from our churning inner storms. Doesn't it ring a bell? It's as if we're living through the words of the 18th century poet Samuel Johnson. My life is one long escape from myself. It's perplexing, isn't it? Why aren't we programmed to bask in satisfaction or contentment? According to the intrepid minds at the Review of General Psychology, our relentless pursuit of progress might be to blame. They suggest, imagine if satisfaction and pleasure were permanent states of being. Would we still feel driven to seek further benefits or advances? Turns out our very survival as a species did not favor the luxury of contentment. Our ancestors were hardwired for perennial unease, a state that spurred them to strive harder, achieve more. And that very trait, the constant itch for more, continues to manifest in our lives today. Imagine being locked inside a barren room, with the only other occupant being a strange, ominous device. A device that holds the power to deliver a mild, yet distinctly discomforting electric shock. Suddenly, this sounds less like your everyday reality, and more like a gripping plot from a psychological thriller, doesn't it? Welcome to the tantalizing world of a 2014 experiment that sought to untangle the complex threads of our mind. As the invisible clock ticked by, each minute stretching into an eternity, the participants, ordinary men and women like you and me, were left alone with nothing but their thoughts. And the device. The only interruption to their solitude was the unsettling promise of a painful jolt. A discomforting choice, you might think, but brace yourselves, for what unfolded next was nothing short of a surprise. Despite their initial declarations of paying to avoid the unsettling shock, a staggering 67% of the men and 25% of the women plunged into the discomfort. They chose the tangible pain of the shock over the insurmountable weight of their own thoughts. Fascinating, isn't it? It's as if they preferred to dance with negative experience than waltz alone in the vast ballroom of their thoughts. And just like that, we open the door to the first of the 4 psychological factors that make satisfaction a fleeting guest. A little thing we commonly know as boredom. Next, let me introduce you to a sneaky little character we like to call negativity bias. It's this tricky actor that makes the dark seem darker and storms feel stormier. Picture it as a spotlight operator in the theater of your mind, choosing to shine its searing light on life's missteps and mishaps, rather than the standing ovations or curtain calls. You know, the bad is stronger than good phenomenon. This peculiar fellow doesn't just reside in adults, but has made a home in tiny 7-month-old babies too. They're already picking up on its cues. Researchers, detectives of the mind, have discovered that we are more likely to dig up the dusty chest of bad memories than to flip through the vibrant album of good ones. Perhaps in the wild, the negativity bias was a trusty guide for our ancestors, helping them avoid dangers. But in our modern world, with its concrete jungles rather than wilderness, this bias does little more than rain on our parade, stealing away pieces of our happiness. Picture this. The third element we're diving into is the mysterious world of rumination. Imagine a movie reel, playing on loop, showcasing only the dark scenes of your life. That's rumination for you, our uncanny knack for dwelling on past misfortunes. If you've ever caught yourself trapped in a never-ending loop of a painful memory, you've been ensnared by the rumination beast. This beast has a peculiar habit. It loves to compare, holds our present moment hostage, and constantly pits it against a utopian version of what could have been. This can summon a swarm of self-doubting thoughts, like an echo in the wind whispering, "Why can't I navigate these stormy seas more skillfully?" Imagine this. You're sitting at home, scrolling through your social media feed, when suddenly you come across a lively party or a breathtaking vacation. Your heart sinks as you realize you're not a part of these mesmerizing experiences. This phenomenon, my friends, is known as the fear of missing out, or as we like to call it, FOMO. It's this underlying fear, this gnawing anxiety that somewhere, something fascinating is happening, you're not a part of it. FOMO can be a cruel thief, snatching away our contentment and compelling us to constantly measure our lives against the glamorous highlights of others. It's a silent assassin of our peace, making us feel like our life doesn't quite measure up. As the sun sets on this enlightening expedition, we want to let you know that you don't have to traverse these treacherous paths by yourself. We, at our channel, stand as your trusty guides, armed with the right tools and wisdom to help you maneuver through life's intricate maze. If this video has been your torch in the dark, lighting up your path, then don't hesitate to press the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You'll never lose sight of us in your upcoming journeys. If our words have echoed in your heart, resonating with your experiences, or lending you a helping hand, please bestow upon us a thumbs up. Your support is the wind beneath our wings, propelling us to craft more content with the potential to aid and inspire. Remember, you're not a solo traveler on this path, and together we can strive to comprehend and conquer those gnawing feelings of discontentment. In conclusion, our dissatisfaction stems from a combination of boredom, negativity bias, rumination, and fear of missing out. While these traits may have been beneficial for our ancestors, they can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction in our modern world. However, by understanding these factors, we can begin to tackle them and work towards a more contented state of being. After all, dissatisfaction is a part of human nature, but it doesn't have to define us.